Women, this is why you need life insurance. Hello, my name is Ruth, and in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about why you need life insurance. So stick with me till the end of the video because I will be covering what life insurance is, why as a woman you need life insurance, and how you can go about obtaining it. And this video was a live recording done in my private Facebook group for women, Women's Financial Empowerment Group. Stay tuned so that I can let you know how you can join my Facebook group. Hello, welcome to Women's Financial Empowerment Group. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. If this is your first time, please go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and share it with your friends. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. Please go ahead and like, share, do all those wonderful things, and hit the notification bell. That way you'll know whenever I upload a new video, which is usually once a week. On this channel, I talk about all things financial, and it's my job as a financial coach to help you get from point A to point B on your financial journey. So if you think that financial coaching or financial consulting may be right for you, go ahead and see my information in the description box, and let's figure out whether we'd be a good fit to work together. So without further ado, let's get right into today's video. I want to issue my disclaimer. I am not a licensed insurance broker. I used to be at some point, but the point is I'm not right now. So there are things that I'm not going to be able to tell you. I'm not going to be able to tell you how much insurance you should get, like your actual specific amount. I'm not going to tell you which company you should sign up with. And I'm not going to tell you what type of insurance you should get. I know what my opinions are and what I have for myself, but I'm not going to tell you those things. So you'll need to sit with a licensed insurance broker. This is more for information's sake for sharing. Zipporah says, I think mistrust comes from not knowing, having enough information. So I want to say too for me. Yes, awesome. I was going to actually say that. So good. That's a good point. A lot of times the mistrust does come from a lack of information. So by the end of this talk, these are the 3 things I want you to get out of it. I want you to walk away with. Number 1, what is life insurance? 2, why is it important for you as a woman to have life insurance? And 3, how do you start the process? How do you go about getting life insurance? And so I want you to get some benefits out of this. And if you have gotten benefit, I want you to be able to share this. All right. So now that I've issued my disclaimer and I've welcomed everyone in, and if you're watching this as a replay, please type in replay in the comment section, and so I'll know who watched it for the replay. Okay. So let's jump right into it. So the first thing I want to say is that when it comes to life insurance, women need life insurance. Whatever you do, whether you are a stay-at-home mom, a corporate executive, you work a regular 9 to 5, you're married with children, single mother with children, there's a value placed on what you do. So whether you go out and work or you stay at home, there's a value placed on that. So because of that, you need life insurance. So that's my general statement here, that you do need life insurance. And again, if you see me looking off screen, I do have notes and I want to make sure I stick to it so that we can be finished early and that I give you all the information that I have for you. Okay? All right. So like I said before, there's a value, and actually I should have said there's a dollar value attached to what you do. So when you pass away, or if anyone passes away, their family no doubt will be grieving. It's a really big loss when someone passes away. But when you pass away, not only do they have to deal with the grief side of it, they also have to deal with the financial responsibility. So I want to bring that to your attention. So the first part is, what is life insurance? Life insurance is protection for your income. So what that looks like is that even though you're not around, your income is doing the things that it needs to do. There's money there to do the things that you would normally do with your money if you were around. And so what that looks like is it can take care of expenses, like day-to-day expenses. It can take care of funeral costs. It can take care of your debt payments. So for instance, if you have a mortgage or credit card debt that can be passed over, we know that even some student loan debt can be passed on. So, and if you co-signed with someone on a loan, I mean, imagine how great that would be if you passed away, but the other person that's on the loan has your side of the payment still, and they're not stuck with the whole thing, right? That would be pretty awesome. So those are just some of the things that it can cover. Now, that doesn't exclude you if you're a stay-at-home mom. Excuse me. If you're a stay-at-home mom, there are lots of things that it can cover for you as well. So do you cook? I mean, if you cook, that's a major thing. While your family is grieving the loss of not having you there can be money there to be able to hire a cook or order out, buy groceries, different things like that. They can still have the good meals that they had, maybe not as good as the way you made it, but they can be able to still eat well and not have to worry about that burden of providing food. Laundry services, they can pay for that. If I know a lot of friends, including myself, that homeschool, they could actually hire someone to homeschool the children if that's something that you want to be continued even in your absence. Tutors, someone to drive the children to and from school like you used to do. What else? What else do, because we do stay-at-home moms do so many things. So I'm trying, I have a little list there, but I know there's many more. How about nanny? Being able to afford a nanny to take care of the children since you wouldn't be able to take care of them yourself. So, and the list goes on and on and on of things that life insurance would be able to cover, because honestly, they've done studies and there have been several articles, and when they price out how much a woman who stays at home and works should make, or hypothetically speaking, it's a lot of money. So to replace her role in that family. And if you're a single woman, that life insurance money can go towards taking care of the things and the people that are important to you. So say, for instance, if you have elderly parents, aging parents, or handicapped siblings that maybe you don't take care of them now, but down the line, you would like them to be taken care of either by yourself or someone else. Well, if you pass away, obviously you won't be able to do that. But if you've left money behind, then you can ensure that at least they'll have the money in place to be able to get the care that they need. In addition to that, I mean, a lot of single people have pets. You can provide for your pets when you leave. You can have money going towards a foundation or charity that you regularly support or want to support. So there's different things that you can also keep in mind. Now, I want you to know that this list is not exhaustive, right? Another thing I do want to mention is debt as well. Debt is such a big deal. And a lot of people think that when you pass away, your debt passes away with you. In many cases, it doesn't work that way. Yes, there are some things that kind of, fall off because you're not around, but they will try their best to get their money. Don't think because you're gone, then they're like, okay, she's gone, so we won't get our money. They're going to try their best to figure out how they can get their money. So it's a good thing to be responsible and at least have some money left behind to take care of those things that you're responsible for, in addition to your funeral costs, which are a lot. And right now in the US, they average over $7,000. I mean, there's so many things involved in a funeral. And if you've ever planned one, you can attest to what I'm saying. I have planned more than one, so I can tell you it's pretty costly. Okay. The other thing I want to bring to your attention is that life insurance is actually cheaper for women. And the reason being, one of the reasons, or maybe even the main reason, is because we have a longer life expectancy, because life expectancy is one of the things that they use to calculate the cost. So because we are going to live longer, our life insurance is usually cheaper. So just keep that in mind. Oh, the other thing with that too is the younger you are, the cheaper the life insurance too. So if you've been putting this off, you definitely want to jump on it as soon as possible, because the younger you are and the healthier you are, the better your rate is going to be. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section and hopefully we can get to them. All right. When it comes to life insurance, of course, there are many options, and maybe that's why some people are hesitant too, because there are just so many options and they don't know what to choose. But hopefully you can kind of get off the fence and, you know, get in there and see what's available. So the first thing I wanted to mention is the first thing to do is to figure out how much you need, okay? Because it's not one size fits all. And there are some companies that may want to give you like $1 trillion of life insurance and you may not need that much. And then you may be on the other end and not get enough. So the first thing you need to figure out is the general rule, which is 10 times your income. Now, it doesn't work that way for everyone. Like I just illustrated, women have different needs. So if you're a single woman, it's going to be different than if you're married with children or if you don't have children at all. All of that is going to be factored into it. But you can think about things like what type of lifestyle you want your family to live or a loved one that you leave behind to live when you're not there. You can think about how much debt is going to be left behind, because that life insurance, of course, like I mentioned before, will be able to go towards those debt payments. So those are some of the things you want to keep in mind. If you have younger children and you intend to pay for their college, that could be something to take care of. And even some people, kind of going back to the lifestyle thing, would like their family to have an even better lifestyle with them gone. And if they're able to provide that with life insurance, they want to do that. So just to make things a little bit easier for their family. So there's several things that come into play when you think about how much life insurance you should get. So it really makes sense for you to really sit down and just look at the numbers and think, you know, God forbid if I should pass today, what's here? What needs to be paid for? What would I like to pay for? Things like that. And then you can start to get a sense of where you stand as far as how much. But like I said before, the general the general amount is like 10 times your income. And again, remember, that also applies to stay-at-home moms. So you really need to sit down and think about all the things that you do. And if your spouse or significant other were to replace all of those things, meaning have someone else fill those gaps, how much would they have to spend? So that's I think a very good starting point. Number 2, you want to educate yourself about life insurance. There are different types of life insurance. So in general, there's term life insurance, permanent life insurance, and there is burial insurance, which is also called, final expense insurance. So those are the 3 major types. And I'm not going to go really deep into any of them today because that will be a long video. And I have videos on those that I will link in the comment section so you could find out a little bit more about those. But generally, I will say that term life insurance, if you're concerned about cost, term life insurance tends to be cheaper. It's not usually the one that life insurance agents bring up first because they don't make a lot of money on term life insurance, but it's definitely the cheaper route. And with term life insurance, you're covered for a certain period of time in your life when you really need it. For permanent insurance, which there's different names for it and there's different types, one being whole life, a lot of people are familiar with that. That's supposed to cover you for the rest of your life, and it has other stipulations and things like that. It does tend to be more costly, so you definitely want to find out which ones would be right for you based on your situation. And of course, the last one, the burial life insurance, that takes care of your funeral costs. Yes, you may get more money than just the funeral costs, but usually that's something that older people, like 50 and over, will take out a policy like that to take care of their final expenses. And either one that you go with, I'm sure your family will be happy that you will be able to help out. One thing that I do want to say is that being on the other side, when I was a life insurance agent and also being a friend to many people, I have found that a lot of people don't have enough life insurance, and that is a problem because, like I said before, even just the funeral costs alone averages about over $7,000 right now in the US. I'm not sure what the average is in Canada or even other countries, but just in the US, it averages a little over $7,000 right now. So for instance, if you leave a policy of $5,000, that's not going to really get very far, because you're talking about headstones, burial plot, and on and on and on. I'll spare you all the details, but it's a lot of things to keep in mind as you go, and it does cost a lot of money. So I just want to bring that to your attention. My next point, shop around. You're going to want to do a search, find several different companies, get quotes from different ones, compare what each one is offering, their background, everything like that. And I am also going to link a video about what questions to ask a life insurance agent, because you want to ask a lot of questions. Ladies, this is what I talk about with empowerment. When you ask a lot of questions, you are empowering yourself, and you're showing the agent that you care what they're giving you and you know your stuff. So you want to go armed with a lot of questions and know what you're getting into. I never recommend you just jumping into anything, especially something financial, and you don't know the details. Ask as many questions as you can. Write them down ahead of time so that you can have those questions answered. And I've kind of helped you out a little bit by having videos with questions, so that hopefully that will help you be armed and ready to take this on. The next point, you'll fill out an application. Usually the applications are pretty straightforward. Name, date of birth, who's your doctor, weight. Sometimes they'll ask you your weight and what your health is like and what have you. And just know that the healthier you are, the better rate you'll usually get. So that's just something to keep in mind, that if you feel like they're giving you a rate that's a little bit higher than what you were expecting to pay, it could be because of your health status. So if you smoke, or over a certain amount of weight, or have a history of health conditions, that will definitely affect the rate that you receive. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. Now, after that, you're going to want to choose a beneficiary. So what a beneficiary is someone who you're going to designate to receive the money. And when I say someone, it could be several people. So for instance, if you have 4 children, you can decide how much of the death benefits go to each child. And when I say death benefits, I mean how much the life insurance that you leave behind, that's called a death benefit. So you can decide how many each child gets. You can decide to leave it to a spouse. You can decide to leave it to an organization. So you get to decide up front, if you put this in place, who the money will go to. I've seen where people have left it to their animal. I mean, it's your money. You can do whatever you want with it. But the point is, if you do nothing, then the control is not there. You won't have the control before you pass. Obviously, when you pass, you can't do anything, but at least you'll put your family in a position to where you've already set this up, and all they have to do is make some phone calls, send in your death certificate, and they'll be able to get that money. Typically, that's how it goes, and it usually doesn't take very long unless there's some things that are inconsistent or there's something else wrong, and you'll find out more about that in one of the videos that I'm going to link. So if you have questions about that, I've definitely covered it, but feel free, if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. If you are watching this video on YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Women's Financial Empowerment Group. Like this video, share it, do all those wonderful things. You need a one-on-one, definitely see my link that I will be linking of how you can get an appointment with me, and we can sit down and chat more about your personal situation. Just wish you all the best, and I hope that this video has helped you to understand a little bit more about life insurance, as well as the videos that I'll be linking. And remember, change your mind, change your pocketbook. Thanks for watching. If you would like to join my private Facebook group for women, go ahead and see the link in the description. Remember, it's for women only. Guys, I love you, but we're only taking women at this time. It's Women's Financial Empowerment Group, and in parentheses, WFEG. That way you can distinguish it from my regular business page.